Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phone with Dr. Khaled Hussein Khaled, former Minister of Higher Education. Good afternoon, Your Excellency.
Good afternoon.
Well, Your Excellency, Dr. Khaled, the state is keen to establish more universities. So what type of universities are required at this stage?
Well, according to the international standards, we need to have one university for every million population. So we need about 100 universities. Now we have 87, almost 87 universities, whether they are governmental or private or non-profit. And we need to increase the number and concentrate especially on the non-profit universities. And this in addition to raising the standard of the staff working in these universities, and at the same time the infrastructure as well.
Yes, Dr. Khaled, also the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi met with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli and Minister of Higher Education Ayman Ashur in order to discuss the state's efforts to develop the higher education facilities in Egypt. So how did you see the presidential leadership keenness on developing the higher education system?
As I said before, we increase the number of universities, we raise the infrastructure, and we try also to have more and more of the university staff being full-time jobs, and this will need to increase their salaries, whether it is direct salary or by giving them some privileges in housing, in education, and so on.
Yes, so Dr. Khaled, the education have developed in the past 9 years through the Education Development Plan, so which continues until the year 2030. So what are the most important stages that have been achieved so far?
A lot of achievements. We have been seeing a very excellent progress in the state efforts to get benefit for the students and for the people working in the universities in order to raise the standard of education and research as well. And if you know that, for example, Egypt now is number 36 among nations, and the amount of research published in the international journals, and at the same time, many of our universities are now ranked in the different ranking systems worldwide. For example, the most important is Shanghai ranking system, also the Times Higher Education, and QS, the English 2 systems, and so on.
Yes, what are the types of universities that currently exist in Egypt, and what are the advantages of each type?
As I told you, we have the governmental, which is free for students. We have, except for special programs among these governmental universities, we have also the private universities, and we have the non-profit universities. We have many technological universities now, in addition to the usual education. The concentration now is trying to get the kind of faculties that are suited for the society where the university is placed. So according to the strategy of the Higher Education, Ministry of Higher Education, they divided Egypt into 7 regions, and they are now trying to amalgamate the efforts of the university staff and the universities with the end users and the industry and agriculture and the people the people working in these areas in order to know their needs. It's kind of a demand-driven education rather than being education for education.
Yes, so Dr. Khaled, who benefits from the diversity of several types of universities here in Egypt? Is it the students or the labor market in Egypt?
Both. The students will find more jobs and more types of jobs so when they are graduated, and the end users or the society itself will benefit from their experience. And instead of getting foreign assistance from other countries outside Egypt, we could build our experience by this or bridging the gap of trust between the end users and the scientists working in the university.
Yes, so Dr. Khaled, do you think that the specialization of certain universities in Egypt is serving the labor market?
Sure, and we are seeing this now. For example, the artificial intelligence and IT technologies and the specialists are now getting more and more numbers, and they are now working in different areas, and I hope that this will continue also in the future. This is an example how we can benefit from the new technologies.
Yes, so what is the importance of the technological education? And there should be certain universities for the technological education?
There are already present certain universities for technological procedures and education, and these are now covering most of the non-profit and private universities in addition to the governmental ones.
Yes. So what is the importance of choosing or the significance of choosing Egyptian universities within the international classifications, and what are the criteria by which an Egyptian university is chosen?
Well, the ranking, the criteria are based on the type of the ranking system. For example, the Shanghai ranking system, which is the most important, depends on 5 main factors: the number of staff having Nobel Prize, the number of the university students that have Nobel Prize, the number of publications, international publications in respectable journals, the ratio between the university staff and the number of students, and the presence or absence of international students or international staff working or studying in the university. These are the main 5 items of Shanghai. Of course, Times Higher Education and QS have also some of these criteria, but they are trying to be different by adding or subtracting some of the important criteria.
Well, Dr. Khaled, when we travel to Europe or to any foreign country, we discover that they have the secondary school as the you don't have to the university stage is optional and not obligatory. So because anybody who studied in Europe can work with the secondary school, okay, but we don't have this criteria here in Egypt. Do you think, in your point of view, that we should make the secondary stage a complete stage, paving way for preparing a student for the labor market, providing good jobs, and for not the university to be an optional, to be an optional thing?
Well, we used to have this system, which you are speaking about it. We used to have this system in the first half of the 20th century, last century. I mean the beginning of the 1990s. And after the 1952 revolution, they led the higher education free of charge. And
Yes.
this was the decision at that time because there were very few people who are graduated from the higher education. I think now we need to move the direction to concentrating more, as you said, on the secondary or the end of the higher secondary schools. And at that time, they used to call it توجيهية. And
Yes.
this was a very good certificate that allowed them to participate in the workforce.
Yes. Also, Dr. Khaled, when I traveled to Germany, I found that the technical education there is taking a very good importance out there. And when I read and searched about this, I found that Germany is one of the very good examples that have been developed, a very good and developed country because of the technical education. They gave a very good importance to the technical education. So how did you see this the example of Germany?
You are excellent in your comment because we need a working hands, working force, more than mental force or mental thinking. So whenever you could apply or increase the number of hand workers that have accurate and meticulous experience in dealing with all the needed jobs from them, we will be better and better. But, you know, the cultural attitude in Egypt is still that we need to, for any child or any son or daughter, to complete the higher education and get the certificate in order to be suitable to marry and in order to be respected in the society. We need to change this culture, and this will depend also on the social media and all the TV and
Yes.
the newspapers.
The media,
and so on.
yes, of
Yeah,
course.
the media, the other media, yes.
I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Dr. Hussein Khaled, former Minister of Higher Education. I really had the pleasure to have you with us over the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break, and I'm going to be back with you.